So, 2 days ago, I just got my old PlayStation 4 back after I've already upgraded to the PS4 Pro, and my father wanted to borrow my older model just to play Red Dead Redemption 2 because he's a big fan of it. So, today, I got the old model back, and it's actually right here, and this is actually my very first PlayStation 4 that I've ever owned, and this is the original launch model, as you can tell. Now, the device that I'm recording off of, it's not going to be super good quality, so just a little bit of a heads up, even though you guys can already tell in the beginning of the video. But, yeah, I just got this PS4 back, and this was actually my first PS4 that I bought from one of my friends, and it had a couple minor problems with a few games that it wouldn't read, but, it's kind of a little bit old and it's used, and most of the time it reads most of my games. Like, I've got, I think around 50 to almost 60 some PS4 games, and only, 7 games that I have this thing won't read at first unless I take it out and put it back in, and all that good stuff, but most of my library, it actually works. So, I actually, while my dad was borrowing this system for the last 5 to 6 months, I actually went out and I recently bought games like Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on disc, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and also the other two. The newest WWE. I also bought the 3 Battlefields and all that good stuff. And as I was saying, the library that I had before I let him borrow this, when I had 50 to 60 some games, there was only a few of them that didn't work. So what we're going to do is these 10 games that I've recently bought that I have never tried on this system, we're actually going to test them out and to see if the system is able to read them. So the first things first is I got to get the system to plug in and turn on the TV. Now, I still am glad to have this PS4, so just a little bit of a heads up. So now we got to get her plugged in and check her out. And now it actually just turned on. So, oh yeah, I forgot I have to take Grand Theft Auto 5 out. Now, GTA 5, as you can see, this game works perfectly on this system. So, that's one of the games that automatically works. Now, I don't know what necessarily is the problem with the PS4. I'm guessing something to do with, either the lens is, dirty because the system wasn't been cleaned from the person that I bought it from. But I'm still proud that I bought it, that the system even still works today, even though I've had it for almost 3 years from buying it from him, and it still works just like it did when I bought it from him. So, yeah. So, let me get the stack of games over here first. Alright, so here are the games we're going to test out. These are all the games that I bought while the time being that PS4, my dad was using it to play Red Dead Redemption 2. So we got Black Ops 4. We've actually got WWE 2K19 to try out. We've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We've got The Walking Dead Complete Season 1. We got Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition. Then we got Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, and then, of course, Battlefield 1, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, and then, of course, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So, I bought 5 of these games on the week in December, and then 6 other games of these, like the Tomb Raiders and WWE and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 I bought recently in March and all that good stuff. So let's actually get started on testing these games out to see if this system actually will read them. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do Black Ops 4 first. So let's see if the system will read it. Well, it looks like it's actually reading it, as you can tell on the corner up there. And it just popped up, so it will read Black Ops 4. So now, let's actually check out WWE 2K19. Now, I am a big fan of the WWE games, especially. I get them every single year that they come out. So, yeah, let's test out WWE 2K19. See if that's going to work. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. So now, WWE 2K19 read. So now that system will read WWE 2K19. And next up, we're going to try Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, I recently beat Rise of the Tomb Raider on my PS4 Pro in 4K. I actually beat it about right around the end of October, like 3 days before Red Dead 2 was coming out. I was like really into this game. But I had it only digital at the time. I just recently went out to buy a hard copy so I can have a hard copy to put in my collection and all that good stuff. So now let's actually check it out and see if it's going to work. Okay. That's one game that it's starting to not recognize. Okay. Still not doing it. Alright. So Rise of the Tomb Raider does not read on that system. So that's another game that system don't read. Now, the game definitely does work. I tried it on my PS4 Pro and all that good stuff. So, as you can tell, my PS4 Pro is actually right here. Speaking of it. But, yeah, that PS4 must be reading this game and a spot on the lens there or something that must be dirty. But then again, it could be because the system is actually old and it can do only very, very limited. Like, what I'm saying is, like, it could probably only do so much at a time, and it probably can't read, like, every single game. But, like I said, most of my games, it actually works. So, now we're actually going to try out Tomb Raider Definitive Edition that came out in 2013 when the consoles launched. So now, let's actually try out Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. And the way it looks like, it also doesn't want to read that one. Now it actually is, but, you know, it didn't want to read it at the start. But, that's another game it didn't want to read. So, that game. Now let's actually try out Battlefield 1. The games will honestly read. It's just like, what I would have to do is, I have to, like, physically, like, if, like, it makes a weird noise trying to read the disc, And like when you see Rise of the Tomb Raider, it said unrecognized disk. It's just because it tries to read it, but it doesn't. And then sometimes when you take it out and you put it back in, my system will end up start reading like it did with this one. It didn't read it at first, but after a couple tries of like trying to read it, it went ahead and it got to a certain spot to where it'll actually read. But yeah, I don't know what is the problem with it. Like I said, it could be because the system's just getting old. I mean, this system is like 6 years old. This system was like the first launch PS4, so it's about 5 to 6 years old. So next up, we're going to try out Battlefield 1, and we're going to see if it works. Okay, Battlefield 1 works. So it's able to read Battlefield 1 straight off the bat. So Battlefield 1 actually works in this system. And this is actually, I'm not going to lie, this is actually a pretty good Battlefield game. I think Battlefield 1 is good. Next up we're going to do is Battlefield Hardline. That's our next game. Now, a lot of people really didn't like Battlefield Hardline, but personally myself, I really, really liked it. I mean, especially on the storyline part. The multiplayer was kind of decent. It wasn't like the best, I will admit. But I will say that this is one of the best campaigns in Battlefield games. This one had a really good campaign. And the way it looks is that it's able to read Battlefield Hardline, as you can tell. So, yeah, it's able to read Battlefield Hardline. Now, testing up Battlefield 4. So, Battlefield 4 is actually, it used to be my #1 favorite Battlefield game ever, and now ever since Battlefield 5 came out, I've loved it more. But, even though this one was my first favorite #1 Battlefield game of all time until 5 come out, I still think this is really, really good, especially in my opinion. It's still very, very close to Battlefield 5. So next up, we're going to try out Battlefield 5. Not Battlefield 5, I meant Battlefield 4. Alright, well, Battlefield 4, it actually works. So now, we know that Battlefield 4 works in this PS4. So, next up, we are going to try out... Next up, we're going to try out Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition. And then after this one, we only got 2 games after this one left. Alright, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition, works perfectly on this system without any issues. So, that's one good game. So next up is The Walking Dead, the Complete Season 1. And then we only got one more game left to try out after this. And the way it sounds like is it's not wanting to read it. it wasn't able to read it. So, yeah. So it looks like that's one game also that it is not able to read. Which, these are really good games, or really good clean discs that I tried into that, like this one that wasn't able to read. It's read on my other PS4, which is the Pro, so we know for a fact that the games are good. It's just the system itself, and like I said a couple of times, either the lenses are dirty or something inside, or the system's just too old. And especially with the Pro, as you can tell right here, it's actually a lot more newer because it's actually, to be honest, Sony's latest model of the PS4. So, last game we're checking out right now is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And as you can tell, it actually reads perfectly. It read without any issues. So, that pretty much does the video I wanted to do today. So, if you guys really enjoyed the video, and before I actually do end the video, I'll also show you guys a few games that actually did have this problem with that system. And these are just a various few. Resident Evil 4, Skyrim Special Edition, and then, of course, Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. Now, these games are basically all, like, brand new. I especially bought Resident Evil 4 and Skyrim Special Edition brand new at, I actually bought this brand new from GameStop, but this one was from Walmart, as you can tell with the icon right here. It says it's from Walmart. And, a buddy of mine sold me a game last year before he left for boot camp. He sold me his PlayStation 4 version of Minecraft, and he's had it for a little bit. He said he never played it, and I checked the disc, and there's like no scratch or anything on it. Like, it looks brand new. So, these are just a various few games that system won't want to read. But, like I said, I don't know what it is. It could be either the eye is bad, or the lens is dirty, or the console itself is dirty on the inside. And like I was saying, my friend had that, and it was like, it had a little bit of dust to it when I first bought it, but like, most of my games work. As you can tell, like, out of those 10 games, there was only 3 out of the 10 that it wasn't able to read, but all the others, it read with not a doubt. But, like I said, it could be because the system's old, because that system is, a launch model PS4 that came out in 2013. But, yeah, that pretty much solves the video. So the only games that it was not able to read is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then The Walking Dead Complete Season 1. But the games it did read was Black Ops 4, WWE 2K19, Battlefield 1, Hardline, and especially Battlefield 4, and then Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Those were all the games that it was able to read. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But, yep, I figured I'd make a video of doing a testing out on some newer games on this system that I just got back and all that good stuff. But, yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said, I know the quality is bad, but this is the only way that I was able to make this video. But, at least it's not horrible quality and all that good stuff. But, so, hit a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below of your thoughts about this video if you think it was a real good testing video. And then subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are new. And I'll catch you guys on the next video back on PS4.